Dog owners make countless decisions every day about their pet's care, but scientists have found that some common practices we think are helping our dogs are actually causing them harm. From daily feeding habits to medical choices, these mistakes can have lasting impacts on your dog's health and happiness. Today, I'll reveal 10 critical errors that might be hurting your beloved pet, and number 7 will completely change how you think about your dog's care. Number 1. Over-vaccination. Many dog owners follow their vet's annual vaccination reminder without question, with about 60% of veterinarians still recommending yearly vaccinations. But here's the shocking truth. This common practice could be seriously harming your dog. According to veterinary immunologist Dr. Ronald Schultz's research, most adult dogs maintain immunity for life from their puppy vaccines. Just like humans don't need measles shots every year, dogs don't need repeated vaccinations. Over-vaccinating can trigger serious health issues, including autoimmune diseases, chronic allergies, and even increased cancer risks. Instead of automatic yearly vaccines, consider requesting tighter testing to check immunity levels. Moving on to our second critical mistake, which is even more overlooked by most owners. Number 2. Harsh training methods. While we all want well-behaved dogs, using harsh training methods like shock collars, choke chains, or prong collars can cause more harm than good. These devices might seem like quick fixes, but they're actually creating deep emotional scars in your dog. Veterinary behaviorists have found that dogs trained with these methods often develop anxiety, fear, and even aggression, the exact opposite of what we're trying to achieve. Think about it. Would you learn better from someone who teaches through fear or someone who encourages and rewards you? Instead of these harmful tools, positive reinforcement training has been proven to be both more effective and safer for your dog's mental health. The key is consistency and patience. Your dog wants to please you, they just need to understand what you're asking in a way that makes them feel safe and loved. This brings us to our third mistake, which might surprise many dog owners. Number 3. Feeding inappropriate foods. One of the most damaging habits we've normalized is feeding our dogs from our plates. While those puppy dog eyes might be hard to resist during dinner, sharing our human food can lead to serious health problems. Many common ingredients in our meals are actually toxic to dogs. Grapes, onions, garlic, and certain nuts can cause severe reactions ranging from digestive issues to organ failure. Even seemingly harmless table scraps can upset your dog's carefully balanced nutrition. Beyond the immediate risks of toxic foods, this habit often leads to obesity and related health issues. A few extra treats here and there might seem harmless, but consider this. Giving your 20-pound dog just one small cookie is equivalent to a human eating an entire hamburger. Over time, these extra calories add up, potentially reducing your dog's lifespan and quality of life. The safest approach is to stick to proper dog food and healthy dog treats, keeping human food strictly off limits. Let's move on to our fourth mistake, which affects your dog's daily happiness even more than you might think. Number 4. Skipping mental stimulation. While most owners understand the importance of physical exercise, many overlook their dog's need for mental stimulation. Dogs are incredibly intelligent animals with problem-solving abilities, similar to a 2-year-old child. Leaving them alone with nothing to do all day isn't just boring. It's a recipe for behavioral problems and depression. When dogs don't get enough mental exercise, they often create their own entertainment, which usually involves destructive behaviors like chewing furniture, excessive barking, or digging. These aren't signs of a bad dog. They're crying out for mental engagement. Just a 15-minute puzzle session can tire your dog out more than an hour-long walk. Simple activities like hiding treats around the house, using food puzzles, or teaching new tricks can make a dramatic difference in your dog's behavior and happiness. Speaking of happiness, this leads us to mistake number 5, which might be affecting your dog's emotional well-being right now. Number 5. Misreading stress signals. Most dog owners completely miss their pet's early warning signs of stress and anxiety. That guilty smile you see when scolding your dog? It's actually a stress signal, not an admission of guilt. The same goes for yawning when they're not tired, excessive licking of lips, or turning their head away. These are all ways your dog is saying, "I'm uncomfortable," or "I need space." When we ignore or misinterpret these signals, we risk pushing our dogs into situations that cause them genuine distress. For instance, if your dog shows these signs during grooming or vet visits, forcing them through the experience without addressing their anxiety can lead to long-term fear and even aggressive behavior. Learning to recognize these subtle cues is crucial for maintaining your dog's emotional well-being and preventing behavioral issues before they develop. But this next mistake is even more serious, especially when it comes to your dog's long-term health. Number 6. Inconsistent exercise routine. One of the biggest disservices we do to our dogs is providing irregular exercise. Many owners think it's fine to skip walks on busy days and make up for it with a long hike on weekends. But dogs thrive on consistency, not sporadic bursts of activity. Imagine eating nothing all week and then having 7 meals in one day. That's essentially what we're doing to our dogs with inconsistent exercise. Regular daily exercise isn't just about physical health. It's crucial for maintaining stable behavior and emotional well-being. When dogs don't get consistent activity, they often develop anxiety, destructive behaviors, and even depression. Their bodies also become more prone to injury when exercising irregularly. Even a short daily walk is better than an occasional long one. The key is establishing a routine your dog can count on, whether it's rain or shine. Now, let's talk about mistake number 7, which might be the most overlooked yet critical issue affecting your dog's happiness. Number 7. Social media-driven pet parenting. Here's a modern mistake that's becoming increasingly common: letting social media influence how we treat our dogs. From dressing them up in elaborate costumes to forcing them into cute situations for photos, we're often putting our online presence ahead of our dog's comfort. What looks adorable on Instagram might actually be causing your dog significant stress. The trend of dog influencers has led to people pushing their pets into uncomfortable situations just for likes and shares. Dogs don't understand why they're being dressed up, posed, or made to perform tricks repeatedly for photos. More concerning is how this social media culture has created unrealistic expectations about dog behavior. Not every dog needs to be a social butterfly who loves dog parks, cafes, and constant attention. Some dogs naturally prefer quiet, low-key lifestyles, and that's perfectly normal. This brings us to mistake number 8, which directly affects your dog's sense of security. Number 8. Disrupting their safe space. One of the most damaging things we do is invade our dog's personal space when they're trying to rest or retreat. Many people don't realize that dogs, like humans, need a place where they can feel completely safe and undisturbed. When we follow them to their bed, reach into their crate, or force them out of their quiet corner, we're actually breaking their trust in having a secure refuge. Think about how you'd feel if someone kept barging into your bedroom when you're trying to decompress after a stressful day. Dogs need their own space even more than we do, especially when they're feeling overwhelmed or tired. When a dog goes to their bed or crate, it's crucial to respect this boundary. This is particularly important for households with children who often want to play with the dog constantly. Teaching everyone to respect the dog's safe space helps prevent stress-related behaviors and builds trust. Now, let's move on to mistake number 9, which affects your dog's emotional stability every single day. Number 9. Emotional inconsistency. Dogs are incredibly sensitive to our emotions and energy, yet we often underestimate how our mood swings affect them. When we're excited and loving one moment, then frustrated and short-tempered the next, it creates emotional whiplash for our dogs. They can't understand why the same behavior that earned praise yesterday is suddenly met with irritation today. This inconsistency in our emotional responses can make dogs anxious and uncertain about how to behave. For example, if you sometimes allow jumping when greeting but scold at other times, your dog becomes confused and stressed trying to figure out what's expected. They need clear, consistent emotional cues to feel secure. The solution isn't about being perfectly happy all the time. It's about maintaining consistent reactions to their behaviors, regardless of our mood. And finally, we've reached mistake number 10, which might be the most heartbreaking of all. Number 10. Taking their love for granted. Perhaps the most painful mistake we make is assuming our dogs will always understand and forgive our neglect. We get caught up in our busy lives, postponing walks, rushing through feeding times, or mindlessly patting them while scrolling through our phones. We think they'll always be there, waiting patiently with unconditional love. But dogs live in the present, and every moment of disconnection affects them deeply. The average lifespan of a dog is just 10 to 13 years. That's roughly 4,000 days to make memories, show love, and build trust. When we consistently choose our phones over their attention, work over their walks, or social events over their companionship, we're not just missing moments. We're gradually eroding the precious bond we share with them. They notice every time we're physically present but mentally absent. Now, I'm not saying you need to spend every waking moment focused on your dog, but being mindful and present during the time you do spend together makes a world of difference. Simple actions like making eye contact during petting, speaking to them warmly, or just sitting quietly together can strengthen your bond immensely. Let me wrap this up with something important to remember. Looking back at these 10 mistakes, it's clear that most of them stem from misunderstanding our dog's needs or taking their loyalty for granted. The good news is that awareness is the first step toward change, and it's never too late to improve our relationship with our furry family members. Remember, your dog doesn't need perfection. They need consistency, understanding, and genuine presence. Small changes in how we interact with them can make a huge difference in their well-being. Whether it's being more mindful of their stress signals, respecting their personal space, or simply being more present during your time together, these adjustments can significantly enhance your bond. If you found this information helpful, please consider subscribing to our channel for more insights into understanding and caring for your dog. Next week, we'll be discussing the surprising ways dogs show their love. And trust me, some of these signs might surprise you. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you won't miss it. Thank you for watching, and remember, our dogs give us their whole hearts. The least we can do is try to be worthy of such unconditional love.